Welcome to the David Goad Show. My name is David Goad, and I'm here with Angela Duns from Cowgirl Creative Coaching. I'll tell you why I invited her here. It's because introverts are telling me they're sick of all this blatant self-promotion. I don't want to draw attention to myself, but my boss is telling me I have to do video for business. So, Angela, instead of me answering the question on how to get over that, get over yourself, and get on with getting the value of video, I want to hear from you. And let's start by, tell me your story. You are actually a self-proclaimed introvert. Isn't that correct?
I'm an extreme introvert. And I need days and days alone, huge blocks of time that's how I rejuvenate. Extroverts rejuvenate with groups of people. That energy fills them up. To me, it exhausts me. So it's a very different place to be. And one of my friends calls me the introvert's guide to LinkedIn. And it's something that I've tried to own because I really want introverts to be able to get their golden nuggets out there into the world and share them, because they have this sensitivity and this awareness that they can really cut to the chase and get right to the point of things in a way. If they ever dare to speak up, they could take over the world.
Oh, I like that. Daring to speak up. Well, but you have to get into the mindset of being willing to speak up before you get into this world of promoting yourself and your business in social media. Thank you for admitting that, and also that it must be exhausting for you to talk to me, right?
You're not so bad. There are a lot of you're not. You're much more sensitive than some extreme extroverts. I mean, I can tell that you're an extreme extrovert, but you also pay attention to who it is that you're talking to. So it's a little bit different. It's really an awareness and a sensitivity, and being able to listen and not interrupt.
Well, that's refreshing to hear, because what you're saying is that introverts can actually learn skills that can help them be more extroverted, and extroverts can learn when to chill out too, right?
And to learn how to listen. I mean, these days, communication doesn't happen unless somebody's listening. And so and introverts are great listeners. So, there's this category that I feel I've fallen into as a well-adapted introvert. I can get over myself in certain situations. I don't say something unless I think it's important. And then it really takes some bravery and courage on my part to actually raise my hand and get my voice into the room. So I would encourage other introverts to take on this title of being a well-adapted introvert in an extroverted world.
I love that goal. Okay, so talk to me about how that happens now. What's the value of coaching in getting someone over that hurdle?
Oh my gosh. Introverts, if left to their own devices, will never do anything. It's confession and a fact. Self-promotion, video, there are so many things that are just not comfortable and almost painful, and we avoid it like the plague. So I have constantly been thrown into situations where I have to speak or lead. And at one point in time, I finally decided that, okay, if this is what the world is going to throw at me every 5 seconds, I'm going to throw up every single time and be completely upset and not be able to do this, or I'm going to learn how to do this and I'm going to do it well, and I'm going to build my business this way. So I got some coaching from a friend of mine. The right people just seem to come along at the right times. And Lee was one of those people. He does this thing called speaking circles. He takes 6 to 8 people. He does it once a week. And I went 3 times and I had learned what I needed to learn. And here's what he does in these speaking circles. You get a 3-minute round, first round, or a 3-minute spot first round, and a 7-minute spot the second round. You go up in front of the rest of the people that are there. He has a video camera on you, no scripting, and you just talk from your heart. And if you say something that seems scripted or non-authentic, Lee will stop you dead in your tracks. And I've seen people cry. I've cried. But what it teaches you is the audience wants you to succeed. They want you to get to those nuggets that you have to share with them that maybe they can't get from anybody else except for you. So you don't have to leave it all out there on the floor and bleed your heart out. You can actually be receiving energy and encouragement from the crowd. So
Right.
it is, go ahead.
That speaks to the value of having a studio audience, like actually creating a video while you're speaking to live people, which is another technique that I like to promote because of that feedback that you get. You'll get people nodding their head and smiling, just like you're doing to me right now. It gives me back energy, tells them I'm okay, and I can keep going. But in the video world today, and this is the challenge, if you don't grab people in the first 10 seconds, they're not a captive audience. They're going to click out, bail out, and you lost your opportunity. And what I've found in some of the coaching workshops I've done recently with power speaking, and I've got students who are from all over the world, different cultures where there's a different standard of boldness in terms of your speaking, and they're just so polite that they are so boring and nobody wants to hear it. And so what do you recommend then from the introvert perspective on how to get over that?
Introverts almost have two personas. They have their real persona, who is a truth teller. And then they have this polite facade that they present to everybody else. So you have to push them under the gun in front of a live audience until you get to that, until the veneer comes off and you get to that truth telling piece, because that is where the magic is.
Yeah, and being yourself is so critical. We talked about people clicking away. As soon as they smell that you're being fake or too scripted, right, or trying to be someone you're not, it's like, I don't believe it.
Next.
And we were just talking before we started the recording here about some millennials and younger audiences now. They just, I'm sorry, but if that seems too polished or feels like some marketing script writer wrote it, it's like, nah. I want the real deal. I'd rather have you tripping over yourself on a street interview while dropping your hot dog and your pink lemonade off yourself, rather than sitting in the studio like I'm doing right now. Yeah, it's real. It's real, right? All right, Angela, this is great. And thank you for staying with me. This must be exhausting talking to me, right?
I'll get over it.
Okay, I know I probably asked you that before. So let's close up the show right now with maybe one takeaway I want you to think about. Some introvert out there in the audience that's been resisting, hesitating. I am not going to do video. I just want to speak to them directly into the camera and tell them why they should take the risk.
Introverts are the silent observers. We see and are aware of things that other people are not. And it is super important for us to be able to share that with others and get our voices into the mix as well. Your efforts, your courage to get onto video and do self-promotion will pay off. And everyone needs to hear what you have to say.
Fantastic. That's a great last word. And I'm going to invite all the introverts out there, who I know are the best listeners, to comment down below and tell me what you thought. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you want to talk to Angela? Do you want to talk to me? I'll post all those links down below so you can explore more about what we do as coaches, mentors, and speakers. And in the meantime, all you introverts and extroverts, do the work, become well adapted, and you too will benefit from the benefit from video in your business. Angela, thanks so much for joining me.
So welcome, David.